welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be very exciting because I am going to give you various tips on how to take notes in class. I know this can be really hard for people to figure out what the best way is to take notes in an efficient way and still pay attention to the professor. I think a lot of times we get lost in just trying to copy down everything, which is really inefficient. You're really not taking in anything the professor is saying. You're just writing down things. You're not understanding anything. And yeah, it's just not the best way to take notes. So I'm going to give you some different ways that you can take notes, and you just got to test it out, find out which one works for you, for your learning style. But hopefully this will help you just kind of see some different techniques, different ways you can do it, and hopefully one of them will work for you. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
The first method of taking notes that I suggest is printing out the PowerPoint slides and annotating them, so writing in the margins. A lot of my classmates do this, so they'll print out the slides before class, preferably read over them before class starts, and then during class you just make any notes of important things that the professors say, anything that's not in the slides that would help you understand what is on the slide, you can write in the margin. You can break out your highlighters and highlight important parts, but this is just a way for you to emphasize the important parts, clarify any questions that you have on the slides. This is not my favorite way to take notes because I just don't like the waste of paper. I don't like to waste my ink printing them out. And when you're in pharmacy school or medical school, you have so many PowerPoint slides that you use. That you would just go through ink and paper like crazy. So that's not my favorite way to take notes, but that is a very popular one and a very effective method as well. What you see here is the exact same PowerPoint presentation that I was writing on before, but I just printed it out in outline form instead. And this saves your ink a little bit. It just prints out the words, but again, I still think it's a bit of a waste of paper personally, but if you really like to kind of write on the slides, this could be a great way to keep you actively engaged in the lesson and really paying attention. So you just write your notes on the margins, and any questions that you have for the professor, jot those down. Okay, this next method is very common. I'm sure a lot of you do this, to type your notes directly onto the PowerPoint slide. So if you hit that notes button at the bottom of PowerPoint, it brings up a text box and you can just type your notes right in there. I don't suggest this method because it really helps connect the information to your brain when you're writing it down with your hand. And you can't draw any tables or graphs or charts in there while you're doing it. You're just typing words, and I don't think that's as effective. But some people do this, and some people are very efficient at it and really like it because it's quick and easy, and that's another great way to keep your notes organized with the PowerPoint slide. So it does work for a lot of people. Okay, now I'm going to show you my new favorite way to take notes. It's with this app called Notability, and I learned about this when I was on one of my rotations from some other students who were there. And basically, you can download all of your PowerPoints onto your iPad and upload them into this app, and then you can write directly on your notes on your iPad with your stylus. And you can get styluses for really cheap off of Amazon. I got like a pack of 10 for like $5, and you can write your notes directly on the PowerPoint slide. You can highlight different parts of your notes. You can change the color of the pen, obviously. You can zoom in. So you can zoom in really close on your PowerPoint slide so that you can write really tiny under a certain topic, and that way you're not making it really messy and like making it hard to read. You can even type text. You see that little T in the bottom? So I clicked on that and I'm just typing some text in there. If you don't want to write with a stylus, you can type as well. It's really, really cool. I've really been enjoying it. I've been using it for pharmacokinetics that I've been studying right now, and it's been really awesome. So again, you can draw, so it's really better than using that PowerPoint notes section, because I can draw in there and I can annotate different drawings and I can annotate the graphs. And you can also, as I'm going to show here in a second, you can cut and paste. So, oh, I don't want that word there, I can move it. So this is really awesome. It's a really great way to be interactive while you're studying. You don't have to recopy all of your notes. You don't have to worry about paper and wasting ink, and you can just write right on there. I didn't want to show you any specific PowerPoint slides to my school because that's really not allowed, but here I'm just showing you a basic slide, how you can zoom in and you can write right on there. And so far, this is the most effective and beneficial way that I have found to take notes so far, so hopefully this will help you. And the last technique I recommend to take notes in class is the Cornell note system. This is a really great system to be actively engaged in class and to be active learning. So basically, you split your page into thirds and you draw a line after the first third and you write either key points or questions. I recommend writing questions because this is a really great way to kind of make yourself your own little study guide that you can use to study later. But basically, you just write down questions as the professor is delivering the information. And then on the right hand side, you write facts or answers to that question. And that way, you have your notes laid out a little bit differently. I recommend color coding as well because we all know that I'm a color coding freak. And that's just a really great way to kind of outline and give yourself a little bit of a study guide as you're writing your notes. And it kind of speeds up the process because you don't have to make a study guide later on. And then on the bottom, you're going to do a 1 to 2 sentence summary of the information. And as I talked about in a Study Tip Tuesday, summarizing information is really important after you learn something that day because it really makes sure that you were paying attention, that it got into your brain, and that you're aware of what you learned and that you can summarize it. So really recommend not skipping this step at the end to summarize what you learned, and that should really help with your lectures.
Okay guys, so those are my tips on how to take notes in class. Hopefully one of those methods will work for you if you haven't already found your method already. I have been changing up how I take notes in class. I used to be very copy everything, you know, I need to know everything the professor is saying, and I just realized over time, like, I am not taking in everything I need to be taking in. I'm not listening to the professor like I need to be. So I've really overhauled how I take notes in class, and I think it's really helped me understand the material more while I'm in class. And you really want to make the most use of your in-class time as you can. You don't want to kind of zone out in class and not pay attention and then go home and you have no idea what any of the information is, right? You want to sit there, you want to take in what the professor is saying and really understand the notes. So hopefully this will help you do that a little bit better. Hopefully if you're not making the most out of your notes in class, these tips will kind of help you get more out of your note taking. If you have any suggestions for how you take notes in class that you think will be beneficial for all of us, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. If you have any questions for me, feel free to message me on my social media accounts or my email. Those are in the description box below and at the end of this video. And if you like videos like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. That would be nice. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!